Hi guys, welcome to another episode of A Tincture of Sense. On today's episode, I'm going to be asking you guys a question as always. So, the question is, do you guys like superheroes like Spider-Man, Superman, Thor, Storm, other X-Men and other superheroes like that? You do? Good. Now, do you know their backstories? Do your kids like them too? Do you know who they like, who they love, who they hate, who they fight with, when their next movies are coming out? You do? Even better. Now, I have another question for you guys. So, would you watch or would you let your children watch a show based on Ogun, Shango, Oya, Obatala and other Yoruba Orishas? For people that said no, I would really like to know why. Superheroes, as they are contemporarily known, are creations of DC Comics and Marvel Comics. The superhero genre essentially started in 1938 when the first issue of the Superman comic was published. In this episode, I'm going to focus on a couple of superheroes: Thor, Storm, and others closer to home. Thor is a fictional character from Asgard. Thor is also the Norse god of thunder and has the power to manipulate thunder, lightning, and other stormy forces of nature. Thor's signature weapon is a hammer that was given to him by his father. The next superhero is Storm. Storm is a mutant, a fictional species of humans born with superhuman abilities. Storm can control elements like the weather and atmosphere. She's one of the most powerful mutants on the planet. Next up are superheroes closer to home. I presume a lot of you have heard of a character in Yoruba mythology called Shango. Shango was the third Alaafin of Oyo and known to the Yorubas as the god of thunder. It is said that Shango, when he was alive, could conjure thunder and lightning at will, and when he was angry, fire would come out of his mouth and smoke out of his nostrils. Shango was said to be a fierce warrior and his weapon of choice was a double-edged axe. The next homegrown superhero is Oya. Oya was said to be extremely powerful and her energy was rooted in the natural world. She is known to the Yorubas as the goddess of storms and had power over thunder, lightning, tornadoes, winds, rainstorms and hurricanes. Oya was also one of the wives of Shango. I'm not necessarily going to cover new ground in this episode, but I think the issues to be discussed cannot be overemphasized. For the people that love and watch the superheroes from Marvel and DC Comics, what's the difference between Shango and Thor, or the difference between Oya and Storm? I can keep going with the comparisons, but I won't, because I'm sure you guys get a point, right? From where I sit, there doesn't seem to be a difference between these homegrown deities and their Hollywood counterparts. But others say there is. The difference a big, fat, multi-million filming and marketing budget makes. Now, a large marketing budget might make a difference, but I think if two things happen, there'll be major game changers. Number one, if a foreign company explores the stories of the Yoruba Orishas and imports them back to us as movies, we most likely will welcome the movies with open arms and troop to cinemas to watch the stories of our ancestors being told and sold to us by foreigners. Number two, if we can set aside religion and religiosity, so we stop seeing demons and the devil around every corner, we will realize that promoting our history is not necessarily satanic or demonic. It's quite something that the descendants of these gods and goddesses, the Yoruba people, have almost all abandoned everything that has to do with this part of their history. The Wikipedia entries of Shango, Obatala, and Oya, gods and goddesses of the Yoruba people of Nigeria, do not appear to have been written by a Yoruba person. These same Wikipedia entries of Shango, Obatala, and Oya display images of the statues erected to them in Brazil. How did that happen? Once again, are there substantial differences between Storm and Oya, between Thor and Shango? Some say Shango and Oya were transformed into Thor and Storm. Well, I don't know if this is true. But this isn't the point I'm trying to make. My point is, how can someone like the X-Men and other superheroes but start pleading the blood of Jesus or say Awusubilai when it comes to Yoruba gods and goddesses? What makes Shango and Oya unacceptable, while the DC and Marvel superheroes are acceptable? People of African descent from across the world are making a conscious effort to connect with their roots, and a country like Ghana is already getting an influx of visitors from all over the world. Now, what do you think will happen if tours to the shrines of these gods and goddesses are packaged, branded, and sold across the globe? Might it generate much needed foreign exchange for Nigeria? Might local people get jobs when these visitors come for the tours? Might a boost to local economies occur as a result? If liking and looking forward to seeing Thor and Storm in movies doesn't make you a Norse idol worshipper, engaging in activities to promote traditional African gods shouldn't make you an idol worshipper either. If we don't own and love what is ours, others will take it, package it, and sell it back to us at a premium. That is tincture of sense right there. Right there. That's a tincture of sense. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching. Look forward to our next video next week.